So, I have been reading the comments from my last video on the Return to Silent Hill movie, and many of them have said that the 2006 Silent Hill movie is the best video game movie adaptation. I have seen my fair share of video game movies, and Silent Hill is the one movie I purposefully avoided because I was tired of being let down. The last video game movie adaptation I saw was Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.
Hey!
You snooze, you lose.
What?
Still a sandwich now.
And then, I saw the Netflix series right after.
Did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was, that the heartbreak changed me.
There have been very few video game movie adaptations that I think are good. The Sonic the Hedgehog films are great, mainly due to Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey.
Upgrading Sinister 3.0. My game is next level.
I really enjoyed the Super Mario Bros. Movie as someone who has played the Super Mario Bros. Wii and Wii U games growing up. Hell, I would sometimes rewatch clips of the Need for Speed movie. When I heard people clamoring about how good the Silent Hill movie is, I knew I had to make time to watch it. So, I did, and we're going to talk about it. Hello guests, I'm the host, and welcome to the Silent Lounge. Initially, I wanted to make a movie reaction video, but no one would be able to see it because of copyright restrictions. So I decided to make a review and pull some clips from the reaction video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and subscribe if you enjoyed your stay at the Silent Lounge. I can see why people think Silent Hill is the best video game movie adaptation. There were multiple instances where the movie tried to capture the feel and mood of the games. Silent Hill, the movie, is loosely based on the video game series. It borrows heavily from the plot of the first game and uses characters like Alyssa Gillespie, Dahlia Gillespie, and Sybil Bennett. I watched this movie twice, once with my friend/foe Mr. Winters, and the second time on my own. While watching the movie, I tried to set aside what I know about the games and tried to enjoy the movie as it is, in a vacuum. I believe a good video game movie adaptation should have a balance between fan service and good filmmaking. Oftentimes, it is extremely hard to do because most filmmakers want to have creative freedom in their own projects, and usually that creative freedom comes at a cost. Lean too far from the source material and you disrespect the core audience you are trying to entertain. Lean too close to the source material and you can have a boring movie that alienates an audience unfamiliar with the games. Let's discuss the things I liked and disliked. The performances of most of the characters were really well done, especially Sean Bean's performance as Christopher Da Silva. Every time Sean Bean was on screen, I was deeply invested in his investigation, especially the dynamic between his character and Detective Gucci. Although their presence on screen was very brief, it was interesting. Sybil Bennett is one of my favorite characters in the original Silent Hill game, and Laurie Holden's performance as Sybil is one of the biggest highlights of this movie. Sybil's movie look is accurate to her video game counterpart, and I really appreciate that. Most of her scenes were really good, however, there were a few scenes that had me roll my eyes and scoff in disbelief. More on that later. I want to discuss scenes in Silent Hill that I really enjoyed seeing. The scene I enjoyed the most is when Sybil encounters the lying figure for the first time. I like the build up to that scene where Sybil slowly pulls out her handgun as the creature stumbles closer towards her. Another scene I enjoyed was the first time Rose goes into the other world and encounters a creature for the first time. As a fan of the Silent Hill games, I really appreciated how that scene was shot. It was unsettling and effective as it was almost a one-to-one recreation of the beginning of the game where Harry goes into the other world for the first time. I really liked how the story progressed through clues that Rose finds. In a Silent Hill game, you look around for clues that will help you get to the objective or goal. Some of the practical sets are also well done and successfully capture the atmosphere of the games. I like the scenes where Rose was exploring the school to find clues to where Sharon went. One scene that I like in particular is the bathroom scene, as it mirrors the bathroom in the original Silent Hill game. As a fan of Silent Hill, I would say the first half of this movie was pretty decent. The other half is where I start to have issues. This is the part of the video where I begin to nitpick and share my grievances with this movie. There are many things about the story that bothered me as a cinephile. The story is the weakest element in this movie, along with the characterization of the central characters. The Silent Hill games have complex characters and compelling narratives, and this movie fails to capture that in a major way. I know I will get comments that will say this movie is the best video game movie adaptation, and after seeing Silent Hill numerous times, I couldn't disagree more. If this is the best we have for video game movie adaptations, we are so fucked.
Alan, we are so fucked.
What frustrates me is the 8-minute exposition dump that was unloaded 1 hour and 28 minutes into the movie. This is our reaction after the exposition dump.
That whole section. And why, and one of the major reasons that I have an issue with this movie. If it's just about them not knowing who Alessa's father is, right? If Dahlia has even the slightest inclination of what's going on with the cult and what their practices are and what they're doing behind closed doors, which she would have to know something. She wouldn't know nothing because they're sisters. She would have to know something, right? So the implication there is that she has some idea and of what the possible consequences would be if she doesn't disclose who the father is. She has no reason to hide that information, but she would have plenty of reason to hide that information if she thought she was protecting her daughter, because the father in question is the father of this 9-year-old's, or however old she is in this footage, or in the flashback, that her unborn child, right? Which is an insane thing to think. But then they talk about the baby, like the baby's clearly a real baby. It's not like they didn't manifest the baby to contain. It's not like a splitting of a soul.
Like in the game.
The original game.
Okay,
like
so
this is a real physical, tangible baby that was probably delivered from the pretzel bun, 9 months after the fact, 9 months after she was torched, right? And I know that people are going to think that I'm overthinking this, but they literally say, you know what happens to little girls when they're left alone? And then they cut to Colin, like, licking his fucking lips, like he's about to get on Epstein's jet. It's insane. So they emphasize that, but they say nothing about her actual Alessa's father. But they emphasize the implication of the minor, which to me is just fucking insane and outrageous and has no place in Silent Hill anyway. No. Right? Like that is already outrageous to have in this movie. But I think people gloss over that fact so fast because they're either already asleep by the time that scene happens, or they just fucking ignore it entirely. But I feel like it's actually way more important than people think it is.
By having the exposition dumped this late into the movie, it made Chris's investigation pointless. Don't you think it would have been more interesting if we figured this information out with Chris as he's combing through historical archives or conversations with Detective Gucci? Unfortunately, the exposition dump is where the movie loses me, and everything after is a hot mess. So let me tell you something about the exposition and why I have an issue with it. In the exposition dump that was shown and told to us by Alessa, she showcased how ruthless and evil the cult was by showing what the cult did to her, which was sacrificing her to their god. So you already know that these people are beyond reasoning. They practically torched a child, beat a cop to a pope, and are going to torch another child. So what do you think Rose plans to do to save her child from being sacrificed by these people?
You darkened the heart of an innocent, and now you cower in the face of Alessa's revenge.
The dark part of Alessa wants Rose to tell Christabella's followers the truth about her. The plan was to sneak the dark Alessa inside the church because it repels her essence. When Rose gets stabbed by Christabella, the dark essence bleeds out of Rose, and Alessa can exact her vengeance on the cult. The issue I have with the scene is that Rose didn't need to try to reason with these people. We, as the audience, already know that the cult members are beyond saving and are irredeemable. Perhaps the objective was to get Christabella to stab Rose so that Alessa could come out. But even then, couldn't Rose cut her hand with something sharp and get the job done that way? Another thing I hated about the last act of the movie is what they did to Sybil. The way she died in this movie was over the top and unnecessary. I am fine with Sybil dying, but what was the point of having her die in such a gruesome way? The scene where Sybil is getting beaten by members of the cult is already effective in conveying how ruthless the cult is. We didn't need to see her being burned to a crisp to emphasize how evil the cult is. Again, this was unnecessary and it drives me crazy. The main characters in this movie have as much characterization as the bread in Silent Hill 3. There really isn't any redeeming quality or trait that Rose has that makes me want to care about her. All I know about Rose is that she is a mother who adopted Sharon. That's it. There is no chemistry between Sharon and Rose to make me care. Sybil had more characterization with what Detective Gucci said about her to Chris. Surprisingly, Detective Gucci has more characterization than anyone in this movie. I was invested in Detective Gucci's past with Silent Hill and his involvement with Alessa's tragic fate. Some might argue that Alessa is the main character and the movie's about her revenge, but the problem is that we don't know about her or her motives until an hour and 27 minutes into the movie. Until we reach that exposition dump, we are with Rose most of the time, and throughout that time, I did not care about her because the movie did not bother to make me care about her. There were also scenes that made me laugh that weren't supposed to be funny.
This is ridiculous, bro.
I'm sorry.
What are you? Which crazy thing happening are you laughing at?
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at she's screaming as the elevator is falling, and I'm sorry. She's screaming as the elevator is falling. It doesn't even look like a realistic scream. It's just she's just standing there. Ah!
It sounds like it's an ADR, and it sounds like a free sound effect.
I want to show you my genuine reaction to the ending of Silent Hill and discuss my thoughts on it.
It's absurd. Although I love this track so much, dude. The Silent Hill 3 soundtrack is just so fucking good.
Is that it? Is
Hold
that
on.
it?
There might be more. There might be more. Hang on. There might be more. Just wait. No, that's it. So feel free to pause and... Roger Avery, that's the writer's name.
As you can see, I was pretty disappointed with the ending of Silent Hill. After subsequent rewatches, my feelings have changed slightly, but overall I'm still disappointed for different reasons. At first, I was annoyed that they ended the movie on a depressing cliffhanger rather than have a definitive ending. Rose went through all that pain and misery only to be trapped in the fog dimension of Silent Hill. On my second rewatch, I realized that having the movie end that way was actually genius, because it captures the experience people had when they played Silent Hill for the first time and got the bad ending. The problem that I have with the ending is that it could have been more impactful if the characters were more fleshed out. I still had a problem connecting with Rose and Sharon, as they are pretty generic characters that could exist in any horror movie. Christopher had more characterization as a father who is desperately trying to find answers that could save his family, and the ending made me more sympathetic towards him rather than Rose and Sharon, who have been at the center of this movie the entire time. So I am disappointed because the ending could have had a larger impact on me and could have stuck with me if the story made me care for the central characters. Remember when I said I would try to set aside what I know about the games and watch the movie as it is?
That's what made you did. I lied.
Believe it or not, I don't have an issue with the plot being different from the game. I don't even have a problem with the character's name being different. My problem is pyramid shaped. I was open to the idea of Pyramid Head being in this movie, even though he really shouldn't be. Pyramid Head is exclusively in Silent Hill 2 because of what he represents to James Sunderland. He did not appear in any of the Team Silent games because they knew how symbolic the character was to Silent Hill 2. But I was okay with Pyramid Head being in the movie. I decided to keep an open mind about it. So, was his involvement in the movie significant to the plot?
Oh no, no, no.
They used him as a monster in this movie, and they didn't even explain what he represents in the plot. That irritates the crap out of me, because if I were someone who never played the games, I would be confused as fuck. You could remove Pyramid Head entirely and it would not affect the plot. People praise his scenes in the movie for being brutal and graphic, but as a fan, it reduces the complexity of the character to a simple monster. After realizing that Pyramid Head is nothing but a creature that the characters run away from, I noticed that's how they treated all the other creatures. The baby creatures, the bugs, the lion figure, and the bobblehead nurses. They're all just monsters that the characters run away from. And that is a massive misunderstanding of the source material. So, as a fan, seeing these creatures was cool, but how they were used to move the plot forward was uninspired. The creatures in the Silent Hill games have meaning. They're not just monsters for the player to kill or run away from. In my previous video, I said that Silent Hill is among the trash heap of bad video game movie adaptations, and that it was a poor adaptation of the source material, Silent Hill. After watching the Silent Hill movie twice, I was left more disappointed than entertained. There were moments in this movie that I appreciated as a fan of the Silent Hill games. I enjoyed watching Rose explore areas to find clues about where her daughter could be. I liked how Sybil Bennett looked and the actor's portrayal of the character. Christopher and Detective Gucci's dynamic was one of the most interesting parts of this movie that made me care about what they were investigating. Unfortunately, those moments are overshadowed by the story's poor writing. I couldn't connect with any of the central characters. I felt nothing for Rose or Sharon, and because I felt nothing, I wasn't invested in the story. The subplot with Chris and Detective Gucci was more interesting to me because it was suspenseful and had a lot of intrigue that made me want to know more. The main story follows the gameplay structure of the original game, but it really doesn't make the story better. I don't think this is the worst video game adaptation, but to suggest that it's the best is insulting to video games. Sure, there are moments and details from the games that I appreciate, but without likable characters to root for and a compelling story, you're better off just playing the games. If you disagree with my takes, that is fine. Please debate me in the comments section because I would like to have a better understanding of this movie. If you enjoyed this movie, I am genuinely happy that you can enjoy something that I dislike. The only reason I am saying this is because I know I will get comments from unhinged fans who love the movie and think it's the best video game adaptation ever. The Silent Hill fanbase is a toxic cesspool where opinions are treated like hard, cold facts that can stab anyone who disagrees. I want the comments section to be a healthy debate where we can challenge ideas rather than put others down. That's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you enjoyed your stay at the Silent Lounge.